Hey everybody, welcome to another Wip Wednesday. Did
Hi,
I
guys.
change the title of the stream?
Oh no.
Let's check that real quick. But welcome.
Welcome, guys. Sorry, we're
I think I did. No, I definitely did change the title of the stream.
Cool
I was just it's just because everything
It's funny because we were
ready
to start on time,
We were
and
so
then
ready.
Our internet randomly went slow.
Yeah,
But
it just decided it wanted to randomly disconnect. So so we had to do that and come back on online, and now we're here, ready to show you some whips.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, anybody that is here, feel free to say hi in the chat. Okay. So the first thing that we're gonna have a look at this week is going to be a little bit slightly different than usual Whip Wednesdays because I have some old finished pieces that oh hey, Demon Lee's here. Hi Demon Lee, what's up? So I have some old finished pieces that I've made new versions of that I just want to show the differences between the new version that I've been working on that I just finished and the version that I had completed multiple years ago in some cases.
Right, because the whole idea of you making a horse pattern or just making a horse to begin with, started long ago. Yes.
Yeah, the first Ponyta that I made was 5 years ago. Those of you guys who joined us for the anniversary stream may have seen the first Ponyta that I made, which we are going to show you later on in the stream. But so the first thing that we're going to actually show you is my centaur dolls. So here is the first centaur doll that I made. I'm pretty sure this is the first one because the body that she has is really different from the modern doll bodies that I make. First of all, she has her hair isn't brushed. It's not a brushed style hair. It's just pulled apart strands that are roughly curled. They're not curled very much. I don't think that the pulled apart strands hold the curl as well. So they're not as curly as they... We're ready, Demon Lee, I promise. But yeah, I don't think this hair holds the curl as well, so that's it's lost a lot of the curl that it had, especially closer to the top of the hair where it's being pulled down. But the thing that makes this doll more distinct from my other dolls that I have on the channel currently is the shoulders, and you might be able to tell already, but the shoulders are a different style. You can see this little ridge here. Do I have any? Could you hand me the new one so I can show you guys the difference? I'll show you this one on the bigger camera in a minute. But let me just show you guys the difference in the shoulders of these two dolls. See how it's a lot more I don't know, it's there's less of a straight ridge here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that's because this one is see how it's got this little flat kind of shape.
It almost looks like it's been sewed on.
It has been sewed on.
Well, there you go.
Actually, it wasn't technically sewed on. I actually slip stitched this on. But this is my old, I believe the pattern that I have for this doll body type is just called curvy body amigurumi doll or something like that. I have it on my pattern store still, but this is the first complex doll that I made. So it has a slightly different style to how I put the arms on because I hadn't figured out how to make the whole armholes thing yet. So I just made this one with, I think, a solid body, and then I just afterward stitched the arms on. And it's it doesn't look too bad, for the style of doll that has that look, because some dolls just have that kind of floppy arm.
Yeah, no, it seems like that's pretty popular amongst amigurumi and different dolls.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
definitely. Especially animal dolls, I think, is a lot more popular of a look for them. But yeah, I just didn't like that look as much for the dolls that I was trying to get look more realistic, because obviously it doesn't look realistic.
What actual person has a tapered down arm?
Yeah, exactly.
That would look weird.
My arm has been sewn on. But yeah, it made it so that she didn't really have any shoulders at all, which bugged me.
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to figure out a way to make it look more like it has a shoulder and a whole circular arm shape. So that's the difference between these two types of dolls. And I guess if you want to get any of these doll patterns, they're both available in my Ravelry store. But this one's a lot more of a basic, simplistic doll, and this one is a lot more advanced.
Well, again, that one's how how much older.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's why this one is so basic and easy, because I wrote this pattern when I was a beginner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, well, I mean, I guess not beginner, maybe like comfortable beginner.
When you're in the beginnings of writing those kinds of
patterns. When I was a pattern beginner, maybe, let's say. When I was a beginner at writing patterns. Because I had already been making dolls for, like, a little while at that point. And they were getting more and more complex as I was making them. And at that point, I think that Ponyta was, like, the most complex doll that I had ever made.
Right, yeah.
And, well, I'm going to show that one later. So.
Yeah, well, we're getting to the Ponyta.
Yeah, because, so these two have, they both have the horse body, but they're slightly different designs. You can kind of maybe tell their leg shape is a little bit different. Like, this one has a lot thicker, legs with less joints in the legs. This one doesn't have, like, the little back of the ankle thing that this one has. Right. So I can show you guys that difference as well on the closer up camera. So you can see on this one, there's like this little bump at the back of the heel, I guess. And on this one, that does not exist. It's just straight down from the knee. So this one, I added a lot more shape to the leg.
Right, instead of it just being like a straight peg sticking down practically.
Yeah. So, like, this design was a lot more simplistic, but I figured, like, if I can add all of the joints in, why not just add them?
Yeah, no. And it makes a big difference. I mean, the articulation and just, like, the little parts where it slims makes a big difference in the overall piece.
Yeah, I feel like this looks a lot more realistic, where this looks maybe a little more cartoonish, I guess. And then when I show you guys the Ponytas later, like, those look way more cartoonish. You can see that's basically the difference between this modern doll that I just made and the dolls that I made back then when I was trying to make things. Well, I guess that look is a lot more simplistic, right. A lot more, like, cutesy and plush, so it's, like, not as much nuance to the shape.
Right.
So that's basically the big difference. And then the other big difference, which is a bit silly, is this one has no butt. It's just flat. Yeah.
It was before you knew how to make a butt.
Well, I mean, at that point, I had made, like, doll butts on, like, human dolls, but I had never done one on a horse. So I just didn't even think to, like, try to do it the first time that I made a horse. And I was just like, oh, you know what? I could probably do that. And then I kept trying to get it right, and I couldn't figure out how to, like, exactly how to get it right. It turned out to not be as complex as I was trying to make it. Okay. So I did end up figuring that out in the end. So here's the no butt version. And let me show you the butt version. And there it is. You can see there's this line going straight down the middle. And I do like the, just the general shape of the butt as well. Like from the back. The curve of it I really like, and the placement of the tail is pretty nice too. Oh yeah, and then that's another thing, is that this is the modern style that I do hair in, where this one I believe is just it's thread.
Yeah,
it's just brown threads. So you can see the difference in the
like the overall texture.
Yeah, the texture. See, the thread looks a lot more coarse, I guess. Whereas this looks a lot more fine on a doll scale. And I think that's the big, that's what, kind of. And I think that's what the big difference is because it's on a doll scale. Whereas on a bigger scale, this hair would maybe look not as weird. But, like, because it's this scale, I think that these super tiny little fibers just give it a very more realistic look.
Totally.
And this tutorial for the mane and the tail of the horse is going to come out on Friday of this week.
Right, so coming out soon.
Yeah, so the horse body is soon going to be complete, and then the Ponyta is coming out next week. I was going to try to get them out the same week, but there was just so much that I had I had going on that I just didn't get around to finishing the Ponyta until literally, like, yesterday. So, Ponyta mane is going to be public next week. It's on Patreon right now. So basically the entire thing is on Patreon already. So if you guys want to check that out, you can find that on Patreon. Otherwise, next week the whole thing will be out. It's crazy. It's been 5 years and I finally have the whole thing finished.
I know,
it just
right?
feels
It's
so
like
crazy.
Completely
like I don't have to work on that pattern anymore.
I know, right? Just done.
I know. Although who knows, in like 2 months I might be like, you know what, I could do this better. I could fix this. If I do this, it'll be easier and better and it'll look amazing. But yeah, no, that's I have to stop. I have to stop myself. Right? And make other things.
At least move on to a different Pokemon.
yeah, that's true too. Because there's other Pokemon that I could make too. I was when I was looking for the Ponyta this morning, I found that Charmander, and I was like, oh, that's such a good Charmander. I want to make a tutorial for that. And that's how it happens. Yeah. And I still have to work on that Yoshi. I wanted to get that Yoshi done by Easter, and that didn't happen.
I think you need to make a Pikachu because
I know.
Who else is excited for Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I know. I'm sure that I could get a really, really good Pikachu using some of the techniques that I've used for other stuff. So, let's move on to the next things. Let me just show you a couple of things really quickly because they're not very big pieces that I didn't work on that much. Hand me the bunny girl. This one's going to be real quick because literally the only thing I did was just unravel some more of these thousands of strands.
I know, right? More of her hair is getting complete.
Yeah, I've just been working on this wig for weeks, and with everything else that I've been working on, wigs just take a long time.
You wouldn't think it would take that much time because
it's such a small little thing, but it takes forever. It's a huge process, especially if you're doing it this way. I mean, there's ways that you could do it that would take less time. Like you could easily make like yarn and glue wigs that take less time than when you're like anchoring every single strand and basically tying it to the doll. Like gluing it down would be faster, but then I just hate putting glue on my dolls.
And then people could stop at a certain step of unraveling it.
That's true too. You don't have to go to the full effect.
Out, like super fine looking hair.
Yeah, here, let me show you guys the.
Because it looks nice with like wavy hair too, or if you want like the big thick dread looking. Things, then just leaving it by itself is cool too.
Yeah, because like I have a couple of different levels of it going here.
Demon and the Angelic wants all the Pokemon.
I know, right? I want to at least make all the starters.
An endeavor now.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
No, at least the Gen 1 starters at the very least.
Yeah, definitely Gen 1 starters though. That's definitely gonna happen.
And Eevee thrown in too.
Yeah, probably Eevee, and probably Jigglypuff because why not? And probably Psyduck because he's my favorite, and probably Magikarp because Magikarp is my second favorite.
I know we gotta update
and
probably, that Magikarp.
Probably Dratini because it's my third
There's
favorite.
So many.
And okay, I'm gonna just stop now. So I was gonna say though, so I have a couple of different stages of this yarn, so you can see the different textures of everything. Here are the the fully raveled, I guess, yarn, and here's the unraveled yarn. So you can see what the difference in texture looks like. And if you just like the hair like this, you can easily just leave it like this. Because people do have hair like this.
Yeah, they do.
There are people that have hair like this. So if you want to have that look, then that's something that you can do. I have another wig that I'm going to show you guys later on, but one of the things that you can do is just straighten it and leave it at that, but you can also curl it to make it have a particular aesthetic.
Right.
So, and I'm loving the way that she is looking so far. I'm so excited for this doll. She's going to be so freaking cute. Oh my god. I have to make her another cardigan. I still don't know what color to make the cardigan in. I kind of wanted it to be like rose pink, but I don't think I have a rose pink that would be the right. I don't think I have a shade that's exactly the right color for it to be rose pink. Yeah, I just don't know what color would go with her with all the things that I'm already using. I don't want to like add any other color, but then it's like she's already got so much going on and I don't know what to emphasize and what to not emphasize. Well, it's a lot. But so yeah, this wig just needs to be finished.
What if you gave it a different colored like side pocket?
Side pocket,
like a little pocket on the side of it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like it was a two-tone, like, and just make it a different color.
See, I think that would look cute, but I just don't like this color on this doll, just because it looks so gray compared to the rest of her color palette.
No, that's legit.
So I'm just gonna take this cardigan off of her so that I can stop being sad every time I look at her. Oh, her corset's
I know, yeah, I think that's been slipping off.
Yeah, that's the one thing about, because I wanted it to be strapless, so I didn't put any straps on it, but then that's what happens with strapless
with things that don't have straps, is they tend to
fall down over time, yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, she's been one of my most favorite pieces that I've been working on lately, and I'm so excited for her to be done. She's getting close.
Yeah, no, she's super cute.
Yeah, I haven't worked on the cat girl for a while because I'm a little daunted by the ears, but I think I'll get to that this week. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that we should probably just really quickly mention is we're going to be off of Wip Wednesday next week, and then we'll be back the week after.
And give ourselves a little bit of a break.
Yeah, and just to remind you guys of our new format that we're doing Wip Wednesdays every week except for the first week of the month. That's going to be our week off. Yeah. So
hope you guys enjoy all the extra content we've been trying to put out.
Yeah, we've been trying to put out a lot more regular.
Yeah, we tried doing this for last month which was National Knitters and Crocheters Month, right?
Yeah, National Knitting and Crocheting Month.
And that seemed to work really well.
Yeah, it worked really well, and I just noticed that we were getting a lot more like subs, and there was a lot more people watching the streams than usual. So I just think I don't know.
Yeah, it's more helpful to build the community if we're here more often.
And the chat was like more active and stuff like that. So it's just a nicer stream if we're doing it more regularly. So I think that it's better to have a more regular stream. And it's like I thought that they would be shorter if we did them this way, but they don't end up being
still stretch
shorter.
out. I mean,
okay.
Some of them will inevitably be a little bit shorter, but yeah.
Okay, hand me the garnet. So I've only done a little bit of work on Garnet, as you can tell by the fact that she's not finished and is not wearing her clothes yet. But I just added one more row to her, to the crown of her wig. I'm gonna
it's getting a little bit more filled out.
Yeah, she's just got 2 rows of hairs so far. I think it's probably gonna take like 6 or 7 rows, so it's gonna be a big, thick bunch of hair. And so that's going to be one thing that I'm doing for Garnet. But I also had thought that I made this other wig a while back, and this was just for a tutorial, but I initially thought when I first made it that I could potentially repurpose it eventually to make it into Garnet's cotton candy wig, like her pink and blue cotton candy wig, and I'm going to show you an image of that in a moment. I have one handy. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is, if I can, I'm going to try pulling some of these hairs out and moving them to the other side of the wig to fill it out more, and then I'm going to replace them with a bunch of blue hairs, because it's like a blue and pink wig. But when I first made this, I thought, like, I'm just going to not fill it up as much as I can, just so that, like, it looks good enough for the tutorial, but then I can more easily use it for something else later. So there's not very many strands like on this side on purpose, kind of, because I figured that I was going to like add in a bunch of blue and then maybe move a bunch of these hairs to the other side. So let me show you guys this wig closer up. So the idea is that we're going to have a bunch of this be blue, and then all of this side is going to be pink, and then there'll be like a couple of splotches of blue on this side. And here is basically what it's going to look like. We just got this with our, we went out and got the Steven Universe Season 2 DVD set, which just came out. So if you guys are interested in buying that, go check that out. It's like pretty reasonably priced, and it comes with this super cute little keychain of Garnet's head. This is obviously not sponsored.
Yeah,
just obviously not. But
we just love Steven Universe.
We just love Steven Universe. But so yeah, so we're going to, obviously the color isn't exactly the same on this Garnet as my Garnet that I'm making, because, you know, yarn.
Yarn.
Well, they never have the color that you want, do they? But, so yeah, basically I'm going to put in all of the blue on this side, and then some splotches of blue on this side, and move all this pink off of this side, so that we can have an extra wig for Garnet, and then I can make her cotton candy outfit, which would be super cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. Just to be able to have 2 different outfits for Garnet, I think would be great.
Oh, hey, D.
Oh, hey, it's D. Chat. What's up, D? It's nice seeing you guys all in the chat.
Yeah, and even it says regular streams are good. So yeah, I think that it'd be good for us to. I think this will work out for everybody.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, no, it
does look like
it does look like ramen. Yeah, especially when it's like because I've been making like yellow and yeah, because with this one particularly, because a lot of the hairs are like yellow, so it does kind of like make me think of ramen.
You should just make whenever I'm making. Bowl.
Oh, it would be so cute to make like a kawaii ramen girl.
No, that would be cute.
With like ramen hair.
That's eating a little bowl of ramen.
With like a little egg on her or something. That'd be so cute. Okay, so anyway, before I get into more freaking abstract anthropomorphic dolls. So I think I'm gonna make another outfit for Garnet though. And it's funny because of the fact that I have this wig so close to finished, this outfit for Garnet is actually more feasible to finish faster than her classic outfit that she always wears, especially because I don't have to make as many accessories for this outfit because literally she doesn't have her glasses, she doesn't wear her gauntlets, she has no shoes. Like it'll be a lot easier to make this Garnet outfit.
Garnet's got a lot of accessories.
Yeah, she does. Ugh. So I'm pretty excited to do that. I think that's a good idea, especially because I didn't really know what to do with this wig at first. I was kind of just using it to make for the tutorial, just to kind of like show people how to make the afro with multiple colors instead of just like using black or something like that, so that it would be easier to see what was going on.
Right. You know, I like just the colors that are together in that too. Pretty cool.
Nice. So we've got some enthusiasm for the ramen girl. Right. I'm going to draw that.
Some ramen enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing, is a lot more of what I've been working on this week has actually been drawings for future dolls, and I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in seeing that, so let me know if you guys would be into seeing that instead of
I think that's something that's totally valid, because Liz does a lot of sketches and stuff like that to try and figure out the aesthetic concept of, you know, what she's trying to make. And
yeah, well, I mean, some of these dolls are pretty complicated.
Yeah, totally.
So it does help to kind of like plan out, or like another thing that helps is for like sketching out like the body shapes and stuff like that, so that I have a better idea of what I'm doing when I'm making a different body type and stuff like that. Like with Garnet, because she's got such an interesting body shape. Oh, she looks so good. I love this doll. I want to make a Jessica Rabbit with this body shape. She would look so cute.
That's gotten meta. Dee's eating ramen right now. Whoa.
It's just, I don't know, it just makes me think of that random app game that you had where everyone was like cute food girls.
Oh yeah, no, I still have that. I don't remember what it's called though.
I know, right? I should download that. That's cute. But, okay, let me move Garnet. And the other Garnet. Oh yeah, one more Garnet. Hand me the last Garnet, because I don't think I've showed you guys this, but I actually made like a tiny little cotton candy Garnet ages ago just to like test some techniques out, kind of. And this one is like her clothes is like not it's not removable. It's like part of her body. That's just how the doll looks. So part of the process for the whip. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's true. So maybe I'll show you guys some of my drawings for some of the dolls. But yeah, let me show you guys this Garnet. This one I made, what, a year or two ago? I don't remember. But yeah, it's a super simplistic style. I think I used all the same colors that I used for that Garnet, potentially. Right. So it's like, I was just kind of testing the colors and then testing what the design for the cotton candy Garnet dress would look like, because I did always want to make this Garnet because she's so beautiful. But the hair for this one, I actually used a completely different technique. This is the, what do you call that yarn? Homespun. Yeah. Thank you. Homespun.
You said it like slightly before I did.
So yeah, I think we both got it at about the same. No, I know. I just like, I'm surprised that you remembered it at all. Because, like, I couldn't remember.
I know, right? I don't crochet.
You just know that we've complained about homespun in the past.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't hardly use this yarn for anything. I used to use this yarn to try to get, like, an afro aesthetic. But I just don't think it works as well as what I'm doing now. Like, it works really well for if you're trying to get an afro that's, like, really quick and fast and easy.
Right.
But it doesn't look as nice. Like, it doesn't look as realistic.
Should do, like, a Medusa. With that hair, it kind of looks like little snakes almost.
It does a little bit. I made like a freaking it does a little bit. I feel like it would more if it were different colors. I guess it's hard for me to see it with it being pink and blue.
No,
it just looks like cotton candy to me. I guess just because that's what I'm thinking of.
Totally.
But I really like these yarns for Garnet's Garnet's cotton candy wig. like, or these colors. And I think I did get all of the splotches really good that are supposed to go in her hair. But I do want to try to do it with the other technique just because I just think it looks nicer.
Right. Yeah, you get more of a...
Yeah. So I just need to...
Yeah, the level of fro you can get with that is
pretty intense. Here's like a comparison just so that you guys can see. One looks way more realistic than the other. But if you're kind of trying to do something more like cute and chibi and like basic and easy, then you can go with this homespun method. It's a really good use for homespun yarn just because homespun is kind of like a pain to actually crochet with. Right. So this is one of the uses for homespun that I think works really well. And it's like way easier to do.
And it has a different texture to it too. And usually whenever you change textures on a piece, it adds a lot to it.
Yeah, it does. It makes definitely. It does make a big difference with like the texture change. But then so does this, obviously.
Well, yeah, no, of course.
So that's like... but yeah, I think that I could make this work. I'm pretty excited about it. Oops. Dropping stuff. Okay. And then there's a couple of heads in here.
Yeah, some balls.
Yeah, here, let me, since we're talking about garnet, this is, it's very unimpressive right now. This is going to be ruby. This actually looks really nice on the camera. I'm surprised at, at how well it looks. But this is going to be ruby eventually. Right now, she's just a head and a neck. It's just a
ball. It's like the tip of a thermometer.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make ruby and sapphire for a long time, and I'm finally doing it. I pulled out the yarn so that I could start making sapphire. I'm planning on making them like both alongside each other at the same time, which is what I'm doing for the other heads that are in there that I'll go into in a minute. But I don't know why I haven't done ruby and sapphire. I think it's more just that like oh, I know why I haven't done sapphire, and that's probably why I haven't done ruby, is because I wasn't doing sapphire. Right. But the reason I haven't done sapphire yet is because it just took me forever to get that many blue yarns. Because she's just all blue. She's all blues. So it's like I had to get all of the different blues that I need to make her. So I think I have them now, and now we're going to start construction on ruby and sapphire. But I haven't started sapphire yet, so she's next. But the ones that I have started, I'm going to pull both of these out at the same time because because I've been making them together. So I'm going to be making Peridot and Lapis. Lapis I've done the most of. I have a little bit of her torso finished already. My Starbucks over there for a moment. So I've done her torso already, and here is where her gem is going to be. And you can probably tell that these are random little glass, they're those little glass garden stone things. Yeah, I have another one here. This one I colored green, but it was too deep of a green, so I ended up not using it. This one was going to be Peridots, but then it was just too much green. So I ended up going with this one for Peridot instead, and I think that color looks so good. It's like the perfect shade for Peridot.
Yeah, no, that did turn out really, really nice.
Yeah. I think the light is a little too bright for King.
Right, a little too much for it.
Just because these dolls are a little more, little brighter colors. But yeah, you can kind of see the color of this. It's like a really, really bright, like neon green.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually bought this yarn specifically for Perry. Because like I'm pretty sure this is one of those yarns that you can only get during the Halloween season.
Right, it's one of the seasonals.
Yeah, it's a seasonal yarn.
It's like
so
slime
like
green or something.
Something like that.
Like that.
I can't remember. It's like
I don't know.
I can't remember. Yeah. Maybe it's called like earthworm or some. No. Glowworm.
Yeah.
Glowworm. Yeah, why did I say earthworm? Earthworms are brown.
Well, you got one of the words right.
It's a worm. It's from Earth. But
right.
And this one's gonna be Lapis, and I colored the gem on this one a deeper blue. I think it would have looked nicer if I had put the pigment on the back of the gem rather than on the top. It looks a little bit like washed out because of that, so I'm almost considering making another one. I have a ton of these little rocks, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, no, you can get these things at like Dollar Tree or 99-cent store.
Yeah,
it's really easy to come across these little glass pebble or rock things.
Yeah, I just couldn't find them in the right colors, so I used a technique to dye them a different color. I shouldn't say dye, I guess just color them a different color.
Right.
I mean, like, I guess that's what dyeing is. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's not submerging them in ink or whatever, so I'm not really dyeing them. Whatever.
We need to break down the words right now.
Yeah, I know. I need to chill. So, as you can tell, though, they are just circular shaped gems that are kind of just shoved into the doll right now. What I'm gonna do, though, is I'm gonna try to cover up enough of the gem that just the shape that I need to be showing is showing.
Right.
Because the reason why I did them like this is because it was like kind of impossible for me to find a gem for Lapis and Fairy for some reason.
Like going to Michael's and Joann's and checking different times of the year, just looking at all beads and stuff like that. But finding those specific, like the blue teardrop shape and the and like a green
triangle, yeah, in the right shape. Because I would find green triangles, but they were always like emerald green, and I would find blue teardrops, but they were always just too pale or something like that. Yeah. And then if I did find them in the right shade, they would be like way too expensive to get for a bead.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like,
you'd find the right shape, but it would be like opaque and then
super
and then
expensive. Because that was another thing that would happen. So it's like it wasn't even like worth it, I guess. So I just figured like there's probably a different way that I could go about it.
So we gave up trying to find it. We're just gonna make the shapes, make it happen.
Yeah, totally. So I think that if I just like embed the gem into the doll and then just cover up all but the part that is supposed to be showing,
right, totally.
I think that it'll still like look right, I guess. The challenge is going to be like blending the edges to make it look nice without the gem looking too deep.
Totally.
And I think in order to do that, I might have to actually glue the gem to the fabric, which it pains me a little bit because I just hate it. I hate it. But I think I need to do it for this particular application. Right. So I just need to chill out and do it. And I mean, it's not like if I'm going to like pull the gem out of the doll's head ever, why would I do that? So like...
Do you ask what you're going to do with the dolls once they're all completed?
That's a very good question.
So these probably because these are Steven Universe ones, and we're super into Steven Universe. This is probably our
I'm probably just going to keep all of these Steven Universe dolls. As far as like the fairies and the centaurs and all of those, like I had this idea of like maybe having them in like Etsy eventually, but it's like that's one of those things where it's like I don't know that people would buy them because of how like complex they are, and like I feel like it's almost like I don't know. Is it something that anyone is specifically looking for? These are, like, I don't know.
These are really high quality pieces.
Yeah, and I feel like
put a lot of hours and work
and
into
like
these.
at the price point that they would be worth to sell, I don't know that people would be willing to buy them necessarily. I don't really know, but like I have had one person buy a mermaid doll from me. Yeah,
because you did have an Etsy shop up a while ago for a short amount of time.
It just seems like, generally speaking, like although that was before I had so many subs, so I guess people didn't really like. People didn't really like.
People didn't know you as well.
I was around, maybe potentially, and I didn't really like advertise or anything.
Because I think there is at one point like 3 or 4 mermaids that were up on the Etsy shop, right?
Yeah, but I didn't really like try to like promote it or anything like that. I don't have anything on my Etsy store right now. I do have one, but I haven't like put anything up lately, just because it's like it's a lot of hassle, and like I don't know. I just a lot of the dolls that I had listed, I kind of started working on them more and adding more things to like I kind of started like working on their faces more and stuff like that. So it's like, are they even finished? I don't know. Will I ever finish the dolls? Who knows? It's a mystery. Because it seems like every time I'm like, there, it's done. Then I'm like, wait.
I know, right?
What if I do this, though?
It'll be looking at you from across the room, being like, work on me. Fix my face. My eye could be tweaked.
I think I might have just moved the camera. But the other one, not the one that we're on. But that's okay. It's fine. And Dee says that she would like Bunny Girl and Pearl. That's super sweet. I'm probably going to keep the Bunny Girl too, though, honestly. I do want to make a bunch of those,
but it's a technique that you know how to do now. And
I know. I want to make a bunch of them.
And since we're more well-known now, it is more conceivable for us to be able to start making stuff to
sell it.
To sell for Etsy is like one of a kinds. And there's also the area that we're in. There's a couple of like
I know. I haven't tried doing like the craft fair thing. I know a lot of people do that. I just have never.
We happen to have a fairy festival that happens.
Yeah, that's
in our
true.
Town,
that's true. There is the fairy festival. That would be a trippy thing to try to do because I mean it's part of my brand. I guess.
I know, right? So, but if anything like that comes up, we're definitely gonna let you.
Yeah, we'll definitely like bring it up.
You guys
if anything.
Will be the first people to know.
Definitely.
Aside from us.
Oh yeah, and then
about starting up any Etsy or if we ever get any tables or booths anywhere at any. Because, something that we've always wanted to do, but just it's hard to have the money and to be able to schedule the time when these particular events happen.
So here's the first Ponyta that I made, you guys.
Ponytas.
Here's the first Ponyta. I actually improved it slightly from the first time, so it actually looks really spiffy now than it did when I first made it. Because when I first made it, I didn't even have a grooming brush. I didn't even know you had to unravel the yarn before you brushed it.
Oh, right.
So this was like long pieces of yarn that I didn't unravel, and I just brushed the heck out of them with a comb.
Right? Probably tore off
and I tore off half of it, probably, and like there were still little chunks in it. I just brushed it out, and it looks so nice. It looks really nice. Right. I almost think that the mane looks a little nicer than the ones that I just made. I do really like
the mane on that.
I know why the reason is though, because I actually trimmed this part of the mane, which I didn't do for any of the others. So I think that maybe eventually I will actually pull out the eyebrow razor and I didn't even trim this with an eyebrow razor. I just went and it was like
so like how
it
far
worked,
up
so.
the head the flames come to.
Yeah, no, I know. That is something that I wish I had done with the Ponytas, but like I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't.
They still look really good, though.
Yeah. I could always add a little bit more to the front.
But yeah, so this was the first.
Oh, yeah, and then the other ones I still haven't added the armpit hair, I guess, and the back of the leg. I shouldn't say hair. It's fire. But, it's
I know,
hair. Right? It's both. But yeah, I really like how the mane on this one looks. Like, it just has a really lovely
it actually looks like little, like, tufts of flame. Or, like, it looks like flames popping out of it. Like, the way that the hairs are, like, grouped together. It looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. So, and then also the other thing is that I did put a wire in this one's tail, which is cool, right. And I just forgot to do that with the other ones, and that's so unfortunate, but I can always put that in later. I just didn't do it during the tutorial, which is a shame, but I hope that people are okay with that when the tutorial comes out, because I also didn't do this in the tutorial, like this little tuft of hair, and I just know that I'm gonna get people like in the comments being like, well, actually a Ponyta looks like this. That is not accurate, and this is a bad
You're getting sent screenshots from the show, and they're gonna be like,
but yeah,
big arrows pointing at spots like, where are these details?
Yeah. So as you can kind of see, though, this one has the sewn on leg thing.
Yeah, you can tell it's
kind of like the old doll that I showed you guys earlier, where it had the arm that was sewn on, except this one has like, it almost makes me think of like a Barbie doll type of joint, where it's kind of like just stuck onto it, except it doesn't have articulation, obviously. But so yeah,
are the ears like that too, or how are the ears?
The ears are also sewn on. Yeah. I think I actually sewed the ears on for my other Ponytas too. So here's the middle Ponyta. So this one is from 5 years ago, and this one is from I think 3 years ago. And they both have like the big chunky legs.
I know, right? It looks like that one's legs got a little chunkier, but its head got a little smaller.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Totally. It ate a mushroom from Alice from Wonderland.
I think that what was happening here is that I just didn't have much control over the shape of the body. I did not know how.
I know, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. I was just like,
Right,
I think this is right. Sure. I do like how the mane looks on this one too, though, right? It looks nice.
I think all the manes look really good.
Yeah, they all look pretty nice. I wish that it had an articulation in its tail, but this one's like a baby-friendly one because it has no bones and no articulation. So you could play with this if you were a child and not stab yourself in the eye with a piece of wire.
That is a nice thing about there not being the wire.
Yeah, where this one does also have the wire just in the tail. It has no wire in the body, but it does have the one in the tail, so... And then I also think that maybe this one I made the tail really long, and maybe that's why the tail looks like really nice. But then it is a much bigger Ponyta, so that does make sense.
Right.
Here's the new pony. I really should have put an articulation point in the tail. Should have put some wire in there, but I didn't. But I could put it in and just sew it in later. I like how the mane came out on this one too. Yeah. They all came out pretty nice, actually. So in the tutorial, I actually made the mane on this pony instead of this one because I filmed the whole tutorial with this pony, and then I decided that it didn't work, and then I refilmed the entire tutorial again. But I kept the Ponyta mane because that was the more recent thing that I had just done. You know, because it took me so long to do the whole body that by the time I did the mane, like I did it a little better than when I did the body.
Right. So
the footage for the mane was still good. I did the voice work again because microphone. But like, so the mane and tail on this one actually came out pretty nice because this is the modern technique that I use. It's the exact same technique that I used for the mane and tail on this one, except it's like. It's the body is still the old version, so this is the updated body and this is the not updated body, and you can see the main difference is just like the limbs match the shape of they match the size
silhouette
of the body.
Is like it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, here, let's put them in order.
Yeah, there we go.
Now they're in order.
Yeah, no, they all look super cute.
Okay.
And Dee says, "Can't please everyone." She loves everything you do.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, no, that's super important. Like, there's no way that you can please everybody, and it's especially hard sometimes on a big platform like this when you have like so many people, you know, watching your stuff and
totally. And then another thing that
another
thing that I get a lot is people will watch one video from like 5 years ago and then be like, "You're terrible."
Right. Start making better content, and it was like
5 years ago, so it's like I already am.
Yeah.
What more do you want from me? But like most people are cool though, and everyone that watches our streams is always
and of course,
like
all
super
of you guys,
nice. But yeah, things have been getting pretty better on the channel lately, just with how many subs we're getting and just how many people are getting to watch the stream.
Super close to that 10K.
Yeah, we're getting really close to 10,000 subscribers, you guys. So
and it's unbelievable. And thank you guys so much, especially everybody on the chat. You guys,
seriously.
You guys especially have kind of been hanging out with us for a while.
Now,
so
seriously.
It means a lot. I mean, thank you guys.
Yeah,
really.
Thanks so much, you guys. But I think that... Oh, wait. One more thing.
We got more.
We just have one more. This is just a Ponyta that may never finish, because this is like between this one and this one phase potentially. Like you can see that it's very similar in the shape, to get your hair down.
With my hair.
Okay, so this one I got really close to finishing, and then I think maybe this one is the one that I made after this one and before that one. I was like maybe making some changes to it, and then I just didn't get to finish it because I changed the pattern. So I don't know if I'll finish this pony. All that really needs to be done though is I need to finish adding hairs to its mane and then give it some eyeballs, and then it's done. So I mean, I feel like I might as well finish it. I think this one just doesn't have knees. That's the difference with this one. It has fatter knees. It doesn't like taper as much at the knee.
Oh yeah, totally.
So this one's almost more of a baby, more of a cartoony looking one.
Mm-hmm. Little blocky legs.
Yeah, totally. They're all really cute.
It's like.
And this one does have the hair coming forward more too.
Yeah, no, I do like it when it has almost like a little, like a horse's widow's peak, kind of.
Okay, well, that's the last whip.
Yeah. So we're ending this whip with a herd of horses.
I know, we've ended so many Whip Wednesdays with a herd of horses, and this is probably the last time we're ending with a herd of horses.
With the Ponytas anyway.
With a herd of Ponytas anyway. We might have some more horses in the future.
Right.
Whenever
a fleet of centaurs.
Whenever we do have our full studio set up, maybe Ponyta should have like a place of honor in the studio.
I know,
just because it's like one of the patterns that's like been following us through this whole channel experience.
Yeah, no, this is milestone right here.
Yeah, seriously. It's just crazy how different the latest one that I just made is from the first one that I made.
Right.
It's just such an intense difference.
You've come so far.
I also like how this one, like how its face looks more like the anime.
Right, because
I do like the difference
that is
in
the
the
other thing too,
style
like
of
the
it.
trying to match the aesthetic to either the anime or like what a realistic type of that would be.
Right. I feel like the ones that I made lately were more matching with like just the aesthetic of most of the dolls that I have tutorials for on the channel, like my basic doll patterns. So I was just trying to make these look really basic and just a bare bones version of how you can do this. But like there are other ways that you could customize it more and try to make the eyes look more like how this one's look instead of the little dots that I put for all the other
and then
ones.
also too, if you're making tutorials for people to follow, I mean, because what I mean, you want to make good-looking stuff, but you don't want to make things that are so complex that exactly. Only like 3 of you out there are going to be able to make it.
I mean, that might already be what I'm doing a little bit. No.
We're getting better.
Well, so yeah, Friday we're going to have another Ponyta video. No, we're going to have the mane and tail tutorials coming out. Then next week we're going to do this one, and also I think my next crochet basics lessons video is going to come out next week.
Nice.
On Tuesday, I think, is when I have it to come out. So yeah, if any of you guys are into that, this one is going to be double magic circle. So if you guys don't know how to do the double magic circle yet, probably you guys all do by now. But
just in case you
don't.
But
if anybody doesn't, that's going to be next week.
It's always good to practice your basics.
And I think I have a pretty good solid technique for doing a magic circle, honestly. I've had several people tell me that I'm the reason why they got how to do it. Like that other people have like tried to show them how to do it, but like my tutorial was the reason why why it clicked.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good tutorial. Who knows?
So if you guys already know how to do a magic circle, maybe check it out.
Maybe it'll still be good.
Give Liz some notes on how easy it was to understand, or if you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's also always helpful for like those of you that already know how to crochet. If you guys just like watch my, if you guys ever
if you guys feel like it,
if you guys ever do randomly want to watch my crochet basics like lessons videos, like, and just let me know what you guys think of how well I explained it and all of that. That's always like really helpful.
Yeah, you like constructive criticism.
Yeah, for sure. So that's it for us this week.
I think that's it for this week.
And we are going to take a week off next week, and then we will see you on the second Wednesday of next month.
Yeah. So hope you guys all have a lovely couple of weeks, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.